Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Monogatari series 2nd season, but today we're going to be beginning the final arc of the season, Hanamonogatari, at long friggin' last, and just gotta say, right off the bat, I apologize for it taking so long for me to get around to starting Hanamonogatari. I had a, pretty crazy holiday season right by the end there, but everything's cooled down a bit, so back for some more Monogatari. But last time, we finished off Koi Monogatari, and that episode is one of my favorites of the entire series. Koi Monogatari as a whole may not be one of my favorite arcs overall, but that last episode, it was good. For as you may recall, Kaiki's initial plan to trick Nadeko was a failure. She was always suspicious that he was going to trick her. She didn't fall for it for a second, so she just summoned a bunch of snakes and scooped him up, and then declared that she was going to forget about the whole waiting until Araragi graduates thing and just kill everybody right now, including Suruga, which Kaiki was not going to have, so he decided to roll straight into Plan B, informing us of what was in her closet. For you see, what was in Nadeko's closet was not anything that you might expect, although maybe you could piece it together with a bit of information, but what was in there was manga. Specifically, manga that Nadeko herself had drawn. Yeah, in her pastime, Nadeko just likes to draw manga. She didn't want anybody to know that for some reason, not even Araragi, so she just kept it locked away in the closet. And Kaiki used this to his advantage. He brought up the idea that she should become a mangaka. And well, when he brought it up, at first she just kind of ran at him and started slapping him in the face a little bit. Not with her godlike power or anything, but with the strength of a young girl. I mean, realistically, if she had harnessed her full strength right there, she probably could have punched his head clean off his shoulders if she really wanted to, but she wasn't acting like a god in that moment. And over time, he was able to convince her to drop the god act and go back to being a human and focusing on creating manga. Which, honestly, I didn't expect Kaiki to turn her back into a human. They had already pretty much given up all hope for that, but he figured it out. He figured out a way to talk her down. He went above and beyond expectation, further proving once and for all that Kaiki is best girl. And after all that was said and done, Araragi decided to show up and try to intervene, but Kaiki told him that it would be best if he stayed away from Nadeko, because at this point, he's right. As good of a person Araragi in general is, he actually does have a negative influence on Nadeko. Just him being in her life actually doesn't do her any favors, which is kind of sad to think about, but that's just the way it is. But after all that was said and done, and Kaiki managed to convince me that he actually had some goodness in his heart, you know what happens? He dies. In probably one of the best callbacks to an event that I've seen in a while, the kid who got cursed by the snake, you know, the one that Araragi was forced to let go, that kid, they came back, hunted Kaiki down, and murdered him in cold blood. As sad as it was, Kaiki getting killed that way, it is almost poetic, almost a type of poetic justice really, because this was something that he inadvertently caused. I mean, inadvertently, maybe not even that. He's the one who sold that kid the frickin' charm in the first place, which eventually resulted in him getting cursed, so I'm not gonna say he brought it on himself, but it was his actions that resulted in this. And that kid, he's probably been going through some hell these past few months. I mean, Nadeko barely even had that snake around her for a brief amount of time, and we saw what it did to her. So this poor kid, dang, that thing's been constricting him for a while, if it did the same thing to him as it did to Nadeko. But the big ticket item in the kid showing up, is that he didn't do it on his own. He had help. Help from the niece pretender of darkness herself, Ogi. Ogi told that kid where to find Kaiki so that he would take him out, and if you ask me, Ogi was obviously the one who was shadowing him this whole time. I mean, duh, but maybe even she was the one who wrote the letter. It might not have been Senjugahara like Kaiki thought. It could have very well been Ogi. She's the kind of person who might slide a note under somebody's door. And given how much Kaiki overthought the note being sent to him, maybe she was just trying to trip him up. Not sure, but man, Kaki's dead. And that actually made me sad, because I just started to like him. I started off this series when I first met him, hating him for being such a greedy sleazeball, but after he got fleshed out a bit more, man, I feel bad. I mean, it doesn't detract from the negative qualities that he does possess. He is very money-centric still. He was still going around scamming frickin' middle schoolers, which is still not cool, but especially since the charms he was selling them were actually dangerous. He didn't believe that they were, but believing that they're dangerous is what makes them dangerous. And those kids thought they were real, and they became real, so it still wasn't right for him to do that, and well, I guess you could say he paid for that one. But still, he was a lot more nuanced and deep than I initially suspected, so may he rest in peace. But that's enough talk. Now, let's get into the arc that, release order-wise, I should have checked out a few arcs ago, but we're watching it in the order in which it came out in the anime, rather than the original source material, just for this instance. Whatever. Let's just begin, guys. How do you live, I wonder? That's... well, I don't know if I would put stock in that statement. Well, gee, thanks, Mom. Wow. Excellent. Grade A mothering right there. Confuses me. I'd say it's working. I don't know, maybe he liked being talked down. Wow, thought very highly of her. Poignant choice of words. Wasn't very nice to you, was she? I mean, that was a little salvaged by the end, but... you've been duct taping it to the wall? Just as a precaution. I mean, it's not like you could just rip it right off if the monkey hand decided to show up. I get it. Ah, there it is, yep. I guess you couldn't, but... oh, yeah, that'll do. The hair? Mm-hmm. Interesting adjectives. Doesn't have much to do with being squishy. Not surprising, given the state of this room. They can't? Gotta do some stretches first. I beg your pardon. Okie dokie. Well, here we are at the basketball court. I'm gonna try to make of that as I will. What's up, Challenger? Oh, just look at that. Sharing the earbuds. Ooh. Oh my! Everything getting darker all at once. Well, talk about a tone shift. And then right back. Well, can't wait to get to the bottom of that. This intro is visually stunning. And the song is quite nice too. Either just me or I sense a bit of tension here. Man, they jump high. Ugh. Grating like nails on a chalkboard. Yeah. I figured they're not dead, but... Oh! So they've graduated, and they're not dead, which we already know why that is, but... That presents a question that I forgot to ask earlier. Shoot. All by myself. Oh. Oh, hey, Ogie. That's a interesting outfit you're wearing now. Yeah, that's the male uniform. Since when? You were wearing the female uniform before. Sus. You are an elusive one, Ogie. Indeed. Still got the bike skills. You're going backwards. No. That's true. They were. Depends on how you look at it. That shot looks very familiar. Doubtful. Yeah, my sides aren't even that weak. Yeah, they're trying to set you up like they do with everybody. Yes, you're not. Getting warmer to what, the truth? Sir Devil? He even graffitied it. Or he vandalized it, that's the word. Call her Ruga? Ah. Higasa. Like what? That they're difficult? That you need to study for them? I beg your pardon? That was supposed to be a secret. No one was supposed to know that I'm stupid. You're not stupid. You hear things on occasion. What does being cheery have to do with hearing rumors? Sounds like Araragi to me. Yeah, given that those are there, you have to do something about it, right? Maybe, but... So he won't do it for sure. He'll only do it for sure if he accepts to do it. So he won't solve crimes. Man, we need to speak up to say that. I'm right here. Very strange. I mean, you are a high school girl, but that doesn't mean it's you. If you want to trust the title, which in this case I don't necessarily. They can. Well, I mean, I doubt anyone being described as a devil. Whoa, oh, the legendary Aragi? Since when? Yeah. No, it gets all up in the atmosphere. Yeah, there's not much that needs the dispensing of justice. Define devil. What? What's there to laugh about? There are devils all over the place. Says the Phoenix. I reiterate. Oh wait, was that Karen talking? In which case, her sister is a phoenix. I was mistaken for a second. My bad. How could I get them mixed up? What's hard mode? It's neutral. Right, that does sound more difficult. But of course, you have to opt for that one if you want to find out who they are. Nope, here we go. Alright, Satan. Well, duh, most people are gonna pick the path of least resistance. And then 3 do the phone call. Okay, only 1. Oh, so the last one doesn't even do it at all. Only the 11th of 10. Because that's how that works. Well, let's see for number 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're that one. Shouldn't be too surprising. You seem to have a history. Yep. Rival. Hated each other's guts. And now she's a devil. Interesting. The perfect balance. Not necessarily. Unless you have a devil egg. They have a tendency. Forced to retire, huh? Why wouldn't they? Depends on the job. Here by the giant tree stump. Hey, I got nothing to do. Might as well be called Sir Devil and help people with their problems. So what do you take as payment? Nothing? Nothing. Not even a soul? Yep, I've already made the comparison. And that is a void without Araragi, I guess. Self-satisfaction. See? Oh. So it is what I said. It is self-satisfaction. I freaking knew it. I had you right off the bat. At least I'm not them. Hearing that other people are sad makes you feel less sad. But you make their problems go away, do you not? You just play them over and over. You just have those audio recordings on loop in your mind. No, sounds remarkably unhealthy to me, but... What's with the bulldozer things? She's very scary. Nah, you're a devil now. Whoa! Dang! Just straight up slapping some sense. Ouch. Hit hard, too. Well, I would assume. They seem pretty desperate. Such as... And then you turn them over to the police. Yes, yes, yes. Right, so you only help them with tiny, petty problems. I mean, that doesn't sound bad when you say it like this. It just sounds like a form of peer counseling. They just feel like their problems are helped. And then their problems just disappear. It's a placebo effect. Well, that's doing something, but... Whoa. Whoa, ho, ho, whoa! You looking to get slapped a second time? You're doing a little more than just listening. Because just having your problems listened to does wonders to help resolve them. That is very true. Anxiety. And then they won't be anxious about it anymore, and then eventually the problem just goes away on its own. And you are just sinking in sand. Theoretically, but sometimes it's actually the right thing to do. Some problems, it doesn't help to worry about them and they will just go away on their own. It's not running. It's just averting your eyes. Now, if you're trying to solve a personal issue, just ignoring it, usually not recommended. Like something internal. This is a very... Yeah, different problem, but... And then gropes people just a little bit. Please, stop sexually harassing me, if that's okay with you. That was uncomfortable. I mean, yeah, she's just relieving people's anxiety, which is helpful, but... Yeah, it was full of slaps and grabs. Now, without some magic... Will it? I mean, depending on how injured she is, that leg will heal eventually. Yeah. Whew. Hey, she helped you too, relieved your anxiety. She's just got a knack for that, I guess. I hope. Man, that is gorgeous looking. What the heck? Who'd you send that to? Yeah, you're gonna get a call back. Count me in. Okay. I can think of a few people who that could be. Depends. I mean, yeah, anxiety sucks. Simply casting it. Oh, wouldn't you know it? The Clippers. Just magically there with a ray of light. Did something just gleam on you? Yeah, it's not a monkey. Oh, joyous day! Hey, looks like that did work after all. Well, daggum. Wow, that episode felt kinda contained. Is that just me? Like, it felt like, other than what happened at the very end, that kind of told its own small story. You heard the rumor about the Sir Devil, who was hearing people's problems and assisting with them, and she found out who it was. It was a old acquaintance of sorts. And then after a bit of kerfuffle in there, we found out what they were really doing was just being a peer counselor. That's all it is. That's what a peer counselor does. They just listen to you. And then that's all they do. Oh snap, my freaking headphones just died. I spent too long without charging them before this. Hopefully, I mean, that's not going to be that big of a deal. At worst, it's just going to cut out the audio from this part here. Thankfully, I've already heard the majority of what I need to hear, so it's fine, but... And I can still hear it through the monitor anyway, so it's not like I'm not hearing it at all. Anyway, yeah, she's just easing people's anxiety. Because like she said, most of their problems were little things. You know, small stuff that if you just wait, it'll just go away on its own anyway, and all she did was ease their pain. And then... Oh, and... What? It just stopped? No preview! That really was self-contained. But yeah, as I was saying, she was just easing their pain. Just helping them with their anxiety, which honestly, I'm having trouble finding too much really wrong with what she was doing. There's not really much. She listens to their problems, they feel better about it, and then eventually the problems go away. And anyone who comes with a more serious issue that, you know, won't go away over time and not being anxious about it won't assist, she turns them over to the proper authorities who can actually help them. Which sounds like a good service to me. I mean, her motivations for doing it aren't exactly too noble, that's for sure. She just wants to hear other people's problems so that, you know, she's like, oh, I'm not the only one who's in pain, and hey, that person's life is worse than mine, so I'm better off with that. But honestly, that's a kind of guilty feeling a lot of people have, that they hear of someone else's problems and be like, well, at least I'm not alone. Now going out and actively searching to hear of other people's problems to feel that, that's a little different. But hey, the end result is the same. It helps people with their anxieties, and they feel better, and that's just usually good. And heck, apparently it was so effective that the slight bit of relieved anxiety that Suruga felt made the monkey arm go away. Wow. I guess, unless there's something actually supernatural going on here. That'd be weird. What am I saying, that'd be weird? That'd be par for the course at this point. But still, with where that ended off, I'm wondering where it'll go. We've still got 4 episodes in this arc. And they set the stage in a very unique fashion. We haven't quite had a first episode like this, where a lot of the conflicts that it presented were resolved immediately. We're left with the lingering question of her arm being turned back to normal, which is very fascinating. But if I may divert from this for a second, there's something I've been meaning to point out that I haven't said, and I've been meaning to say it for like 2 other times now, and that is at the end of the Nautico Medusa arc. Remember, at the end, she's like, here's a preview of what'll happen when we fight. It showed everybody lining up to face her and then getting stomped, but that can't happen anymore. She got turned back to being human. There's no reason for that to occur. Was that just made up? A idea of what it might look like? Or is she gonna turn back at some point and then they have to fight her? That would be... I don't know about that, and I don't know what else to say about Hanamonogatari episode 1. It was interesting because it doesn't take place when I thought that it might. This is taking place just even beyond the graduation, which I guess that means that a lot of season 2 is in chronological order rather than in the necessary release order of the original source. Not all of it is like that, but a lot of it is. I thought that it might cover the brief period of time that we still haven't seen of when Araragi needed Suruga's help, and then he shows up at the end of Nekomonogatari White with the frickin' sword. We still don't know what leads up to that necessarily. I don't know if they're even gonna show us at this point. Yeah, they probably will, but I thought that it might be here. I guess it could still be here. They might jump around a bit for all I know. What did they say her name was? Numachi Roka? Yeah, she's interesting. A very fascinating character so far, I would say. She seems pretty normal, all things considered for the most part. She was just a middle school basketball player, rival of Suruga, who, due to unfortunate circumstance, seems to have gotten a bad leg injury that she's still recovering from. She hasn't been able to play ever since. And apparently her leg injury is preventing her from getting a job, which... That sounds weird. What kind of stupid businesses aren't hiring somebody because they have an injured leg? I mean, obviously there are some jobs you can't work if you can't, have full use of your legs. Some that require you to walk around a lot or maybe even like lift things, I guess, but there's plenty of jobs that would happily take someone in that circumstance. I've worked with people who've had injured legs before. They didn't seem to have a problem with it. I don't know. They're usually accommodating of that kind of thing. Strange, but because of that, she just decides to ease her own pain by easing the pain of others. Almost. It was really just her trying to listen to their problems, and then just by the nature of listening to their problems, it happened to help them. And then she did actually do action to help them by sending some people to the police or to, actual therapists. So yeah, she wasn't too bad until she decided to feel Suruga up a little bit, which I don't know what that was about necessarily. I mean, is that the response in kind to being slapped in the face? I wouldn't know. Actually, I have been slapped in the face. I don't think I ever went and tried to grab somebody's chest though. But I think that's enough analyzation for now, guys, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be updated on more. That would be great. Next time, episode 2 of Hanamonogatari. Don't know what to expect. We didn't even get a Tsukihi or Karen little, preview for the next one, which is interesting. And on the topic of Karen and Tsukihi, I still can't believe I mistook Karen for Tsukihi when they were talking about Tsukihi, and they even showed the little bee thing for Karen right there. Yeah, that was a moment of stupidity, but I caught it. But that's enough feeling self-conscious. This was an interesting episode. Can't wait to see what episode 2 has in store for us, and hope to catch you guys there. But till then, I will see you guys later.